All of us have seen movies and have listened to music, but what if the two were put together? Musicals can range from your favorite Disney princes and princesses on stage live in front of you to sexy space aliens that are also transsexuals coming to Earth. Musical theater is important because it saves lives. My interest in musical theater originally started when I was very young. I wanted to be just like the people that I saw on stage. And I believe that theater is a lot like speech. We get on stage and we perform in front of everyone, and they watch us. So today, I will be talking about the origins of theater, how I started theater, and why it's important to me. To help us understand what musical theater and theater is, I'm going to start from the origins of theater itself. Theater started in ancient Greece to honor the Greek god Dionysus, the god of theater, wine, and partying. And it originally started where there would be arenas and the richest people, like kings, queens, powerful people, would be on the top row in the balconies, and then the poorer they got, it went further and further until they were on the ground, and those were called groundlings. But the first ever musical was called The Black Crook. It started in the 1800s, and it was a very long musical, and it hasn't been in theaters ever since. Now that we're done with the origins of musical theater, I'm going to talk about the first plays that I was in. I started being into plays when I was in elementary school because everyone had to be, because we all were told that we were going to be a part of plays. I never really got big roles except for Mrs. Claus in like 3rd or 4th grade. But I was never really interested until I tried out for my first play in local theater in about 4th or 5th grade, and I was just not comfortable on stage. I tried to remember my lines, but I just couldn't get it. And I didn't know why, because theater was so important to me, but I couldn't do theater. And then eventually, in 2019, I got to be a part of West Side Story, and I thought that I was going to do good, but it was just, I was too uncomfortable in my own body and in my dance moves, and I was afraid that everybody was looking at me and judging me. So I never got comfortable in that role, and I didn't do anything up until 2022. Although my musical theater and theater experience was rough in the past, I got comfortable in my skin around 2020, and I decided it was about time that I got back on stage again. In 2022, in October, I was in Rocky Horror Picture Show. It was a musical, and I was in the ensemble. I was able to create my character by myself and make myself feel comfortable in my own skin, mostly because I played an androgynous character. I was dancing, coming up with my own moves with my partner, and basically crawling on the floor in front of all those people that I used to be so nervous to perform in front of. Rocky Horror meant so much to me. It saved my life because it pulled me out of abuse. Rocky Horror Picture Show was where I met my theater family that eventually was my begging call whenever I was going through rough times. They were housing me for the night and feeding me when I was hungry, and I couldn't have found this family if I wasn't into musical theater. Theater saved me and countless others, from my friends to other musical people that I know, and I think it's universal that everyone could say that musical theater has saved their lives once. From the 1800s to now, musical theater will always be important, and concluding the speech, I hope that this speech inspires anyone and everyone to look at your local theaters and try to join, whether it be in a musical, in a play, working behind the scenes, costuming, designing, doing lights or music for theater. I hope that you can all be inspired by this, and thank you.